Alright, so first we're going to talk about how do we solve the economic incentive issues that are existing in present day cryptocurrencies. First of all, is one of the major problems we see is that most crypto does not reward its users. Miners get all the rewards, users pay all the fees. So one of the things that we want to, another problem we see is that there is free work happening. So Bitcoin nodes running, community developers working for free. These are all essentially taxes on the whole ecosystem that should be incorporated within it. So that's another way. To do this, we will be having a block split that encompasses what we believe is everybody in the ecosystem, not just the developers or not just the miners, but everybody who helps make the Color platform a better place or more valuable. And we think the core people that are going to do that will in fact be the users. So, we believe that the people who provide the security is very important, but they're not worth 100% of everything that the network produces. So the reason for this block split is that we believe that the users are responsible for a large portion, so 40% in this model, and the Treasury, kind of what the users vote on and how to improve it amongst themselves is also 20%. So you could think of that as like 60% of the funds going to the users. Then the people that help provide the consensus and help provide the network get 40%. So right here is just a chart of the different recipients of the coins and other ecosystems and our own. So in Bitcoin you can see here that the miners get everything. The people who run the nodes, anybody who uses it, anybody who helps develop the software, they all have to find other ways to get compensated or are doing this out of the goodness of their heart. Dash, on the other hand, a little bit more progressive. They do have a treasury which they can help build the ecosystem with. They do reward their holders and other people that actually provide services for the network, private SIN and things like that. What we want to do at Color is take it one step further, reward new and active users based on their participation in the network, and so forth. So, again, as I previously stated, pixels get about 40% of the rewards, and those can be used to engage existing users. Those can be used to bring on new users, like a referral program. And this is done by giving each user 5 pixels per day, and they can send those amongst friends and to charitable organizations. We actually have another presentation that goes a little bit more in depth into how pixels work and what they'll be used for, but so go ahead and check that out. One thing I do want to go over again real quick is how the pixels are awarded. So the pixel amount received per person divided by the total pixels received multiplied by, for now, 200K. Which is the number of color that received per week. So, and then that will be the number of color that they will receive
weekly,
every single week. So, next we have the Treasury, and Treasury are funds that people can vote on that can be used for marketing efforts. They can be used to hire more developers, for wallets, whatever the case may be. And some example proposals I've actually just popped up on here. So we do predict at some point in the future that funding for the core funding for Color will be done through the Treasury, and we'll have to fight for that funding amongst all the other great projects that the ecosystem will have. Another example, maybe an Android wallet that some other team is working on, and then some other listing fees. And these are all based on the vote differential here that people are voting on, and that's done with differential voting, which is also explained in our governance video, so check that out. Next we have block builders. So those are the people that actually provide the consensus. So we could see that as miners. in the case of Bitcoin, whereas they receive 100% of the reward. In our system, they receive only 20, which we think is more than fair. And they do so, they're elected based on something called the contribution index. So what that consists of is the coin amount that they have staked in the system, their community contribution, and their system performance index. So if they're dropping a lot of blocks, things like that, they're going to get kicked from the rotation and some other block builder is going to take their place. Next we have the council, which is essentially like the Dash masternode, for example, where they can provide services for the network. In our case, they do the logic running function, which is explained in our color prism video, so you might want to check that out. And they have to do that in order to receive any of those funds, as well as, unlike other masternode systems, they actually have to participate in the voting every 4 weeks. So next we have, more requirements for the color council. So they have to have at least 50,000 color to be a council member, and they will get additional votes the more coins they have. However, this is done in a quadratic formula, so just because they're super, super rich doesn't mean they get to influence the entire system. And that is also explained in our governance video. So again, just to restate the reward breakdown: Pixel 40%, Council 20%, Treasury 20%, and Block Builders 20%. And so with that, through the use of this balanced reward structure, we believe that will make a more fair environment for everybody and provide the incentives that will balance the wealth inequality problems that we've seen in cryptocurrency. So stick with us. Thanks.